Now we will continue with the printed parts. So for that we need to put these together. This main part will screw to accent part. It's saying first we need to put M5 nut, but it's actually this one is not exactly holding the M5 nut, so we can put these later, so that's why I'll not bother it. I will place the M5 nuts later on, what I mean. So this part of this with M3 by 6, we will secure it, and we'll also place the nuts for the lead screw. So for that we will place our T-nuts like that, and we'll use M3 by 12, and we will use M3 lock nut. While you are putting these pieces at the corners for the Z motors, you need to be careful about the nut orientation. It can interfere. Yeah, you need to place the nuts like this, so the holes will look outside, and the side ones also, and it's same for the other. Now I put all the motor brackets and all the Z rails. Nothing special about it. Like I said, we need to use every other hole. One screw, one empty, one screw and empty, and it goes on. And in here there should be around 1-2 millimeter gap between the bracket and the Z rails. For that I used my Allen key. It's 2 millimeter approximately, so I use this as a guideler for 2 millimeter, and yeah, positioned my rail. It's recommended to use these T-nuts, but since there's enough gap, I checked, I used again these. I like this more better. However, these are giving me issue. I don't know why. I mean, it's not easily inserting in here itself. So as you can see, I broke my Allen key 2 or 3 times while I trying to put these on. So I need to really force it to put this one, really give force. Yeah, like I said, the Allen key is broken 2 times. I don't know, I think it's about, you know, there is this notch in here and in here, and this, there is a space. I think problem with this width on the top side, because this width is actually corresponding this empty space in the rail, in the frame. So what I'm suspecting, this width is slightly longer than the older ones, and that's why we are placing this when it has diagonal movement. So I think that's causing an issue, because I have also left T-nuts from the V2. Sometimes it's just easily I can insert them, but generally it's hard. So what I'm suspecting, so some of them are wider on the top surface, so that's why it's not easily inserted. However, I managed to put all. I also mounted the printed parts on the carrots. So this is the back, and for back we are using M3 by 8, and this is the sides. For the sides we are using M3 by 12, and this is the other side. Yeah, the thing is, I realized that if you can see it, the printed parts is not flush with our frame. That means 3D printed part will hit the panels, so you have to use the foam tape in here. So with the foam tape you need to compensate this difference, so our Z axis can move freely without touching anything. So be careful about that. Now we will assemble our feet. So we will use M3 by 6. So with M3 by 6 we will put these two together. Now you are threading the plastic with screw, so don't over tighten these. Now I will put these and the Z motors on the frame. So see you in a bit. I have placed the Z motors and the feet. Now what you need to do, you need to just flip your printer upside down Then place your motors, and this is the back motor, and the orientation should be like this. The cable should go towards the middle of the printer. Yeah, but it's not that much important. It can be also left or right, but I think this will be more handy while I'm doing the cable management. And for the sides, this is the front. Basically the cables are looking again the middle of the printer, and we need to use M3x12 screws for mounting the motor, and these are these ones. At the moment, if you see, it's wiggly. What I understood from the manual, it should be like this, but again I will double check this one and let you know, because yeah, with this actually we are trying to not force this lead screw to not straight direction, so it's actually using the lead screw straightness, so that's why this one should have a little bit playroom as I understand, but I will double check this. And yeah, it's same for this side. And I still didn't put the AB motors because at the moment I don't need them. If I put this, it will be just a little bit heavier, so I didn't put them yet. About feet. This is the front of the printer and this is the back of the printer. So for the feet, in the front frame and the back frame, you need to place M3 nuts for the feet, one of each. But for the left frame and for the right frame, you need to put M5 nuts. You will use M5x10 button head screws. And for the sides, for the front and back, you need to use M3x8 socket head screws. And after placing these, we are placing this rubber foot. So for that, basically, we are placing if I can show you, yeah, there is one hex nut in here. So basically, fit the hex nut with your finger, put the foot, put M5x16, and just tighten it. It's there is a hole with the shape the hex nut, so it will hold there. So after that, you can just tighten it. I learned the situation of this lead nut. So basically, our nuts should be moving in X and Y direction. If you can see, if I force a bit, it's moving it, but it shouldn't move in the Z direction. These three nuts should be mounted like that. What I did I just took empty space of the screw and didn't tighten it. So right now it's moving in the XY direction if I force it a bit, but it's not moving in the Z direction. However, for the back Z motor, again I did the same, took the empty space, didn't tighten it, but it is still, if you hear it, it's still a bit moving in the Z direction. I'm guessing it's because of the nut in here, so I might be changing this one. If I see any issue, for now I will use it until I reprint this part of this printer. After that, if in these parts there is an issue, I will change this T-nut. But yeah, it shouldn't do that. And that's it for the Z-axis. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.